Welcome one and all, how's it going everybody, what you up to? It's me, 3D FX. Thought I'd tell you guys the story about one of my biggest party fouls ever, and how I ended up ruining a $300 to $400 laptop of mine, all by myself and in the span of 10 seconds too. In a weird way, it was sort of like a speed run of how fast I could break this laptop, but we'll get to that. Let me just knock on wood before we get started here. There we go. And as always, I gotta say, I am in no way, shape, or form admitting to or condoning any of the actions I describe in this video. Please don't attempt to reenact or recreate any of the things you hear me describing here. These videos and their contents are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Enjoy the video. Just after what we'll refer to as the Justice League, just after they kicked me out of their friend group, and right before I met the most toxic girlfriend I ever had, there I was, posted up in my ivory tower of a townhouse apartment complex. Hardly the ivory tower, but you get the point. In the middle of my very first summer off in high school, where my biggest concern at the time is how next year is going to go, and how I'm going to be able to afford next week's eighth of bushes. And at the time, those were pretty reasonable concerns. That was really all I had to worry about. I had already crossed that bridge and dealt with the issue of finding new connects and new plugs and whatnot. But of course, the other issue remains of, I don't have every other day friends to just call over whenever I want. Characters like Maka, Aizawa, Takedo, none of these people were even in the fray at this time. So the possibility of me just randomly, pulling up Facebook to hit them up and be like, hey, do you want a match? That's not even an option because we're hardly on a first name basis. I don't even know a fraction of these people. Yet. This time around, I'm in solo queue. I solo queued up. I'm by myself. No reinforcements are coming. There's no care package. The closest thing to air support I had at the time was air conditioning, and that's not what we're looking for here. It is not a party of 3. It is a party of 1, if that, and that's when that's when my eyes are even open and I'm conscious enough to comprehend the world around me. No, it's relatively chill, if anything. Nothing out of the ordinary, no one is bothering me, no one is hitting my line. It's actually pretty peaceful now that I'm thinking about it. Peaceful, but uneventful. For most of the day, I'm just sitting up in my room watching YouTube. At one point, my mom gets home at around 3, maybe even 4? Way earlier than normal, that's all I remember. Since she's home, I have to go incognito. I have to go stealth mode. I'm equipping my stealth boy times 2. I use 2 stealth boys. A potion of brief invisibility just to be safe, and of course, NordVPN. You already know. Not sponsored, of course, I wish. Just trying to give you guys an idea of just how safe I'm trying to play this. So I jump to my feet. I throw the towels under the door. They're not damp or wet or anything. I just throw some dry towels and a blanket under the door and hope for the best. That, combined with the air freshener that is glued to my hand at this point, every time I take a whack at it, I always freaking do a little spritz. I go, psst. Not to mention, I'm blowing it out of the window every so often, if I'm not using a sploof. And if you don't know what a sploof is, you're probably too young to be watching this. Go show your parents. I mean, don't show them until you like and subscribe. Of course. You guys get the idea. Incognito mode turned on. No exceptions. There's just not much room for error in this situation. And I'm not using some teeny tiny little toddler piece. No, I'm using a full-on plastic, foot tall bubbler pretty much. I can't even call it the B word because it was just too small to fit the profile. It was too short and compact. It did its job of, hiding in plain sight just a little bit too well. Keep in mind how I say this thing can hide in plain sight, but just barely. Especially considering my idea of hiding it is just hiding it from someone who's opening the door to my room. Never mind someone who might just walk by, outside of the house to look up into the second story window and see, this tiny little see-through, translucent, quote-unquote, vase, this blue vase just sticking out of the window, hiding behind the curtains. And that was my strategy. Basically, every time I heard my mom coming up the stairs, or really anyone coming up the stairs, it wasn't always my mom. Sometimes it'd be a surprise from a friend. But I would always hide my stuff behind the curtain, because my bed would always be pushed up against the corner, usually right next to the window, for easy access. This particular instance, It wasn't like that at all. Everything was chill. Everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. I don't hear any footsteps running up the stairs. I don't hear anyone FBI kicking in my door. Anything like that. Everything's chill. Everything, including the setup, it's ideal. I've got a cold bottle of water. The towels are under the door. It doesn't even smell that bad in my room. Everything's fine. So I throw on some YouTube. And go figure, I'm actually watching an Xcode A video right before his channel got wiped, when he's got like over 300 videos to pick from. Maybe it was a little less than that at the time, but who knows, you know, it was like 2015 roughly, give or take. And speaking of taking, I am taking some unbelievably fat rips on this day. It's just me, myself. I'm not impressing anyone. I'm just doing it to I'm just doing it to feel something. Not to sound unremarkably emo over here, but it's the truth. I was, you know, it was in my feelings, you know. I'd be watching these videos and I'd just get in my head. I'd get into the space, man. I'd get into that mindset of, what is life? Why am I here? I'm asking those kind of questions for nobody but myself to answer effectively. After about an hour of that, I decide I'm going to mix it up a little. I'm going to grab these Skittles, and I'm going to take some Skittle rips. And on the off chance you have absolutely no idea what I just said right there, Skittle hits are pretty much where you get some Skittles in your mouth, you take the flavor off of them, you know, you let them sit in your mouth for a while, and then you take a rip. It tastes delicious. This works especially well if you just so happen to not like the taste of bushes. But on the other hand, it also completely destroys any flavor you might get from said bushes. Unless you're like me in this case, and all you ever taste is hot smoke, for the most part, whenever it comes to flowers and bushes and ferns or whatever. But when it comes to, like, actual, you know, extracts of flowers and all that, like, I definitely taste it then, that's for sure. You get the point. So I grab my Skittles, I sit back down in my bed, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing. I think I threw on Scamming the Plug. If not, I think it might have been, it was either that one, or let me check really quick. Or it was the one where he scammed his friend's mom to buy some stems for like $40 or something. About halfway through one of those videos, I'm just sitting there not doing much. I'm not moving aggressively. I'm not moving fast. No fast movements. Not trying to scare my peace away, you know? And I set it down. I usually set it down either on the windowsill or, this is horrible, don't do this, I straight up put it on the edge of my laptop. You know, I sort of use it as a table. Like, otherwise, one of the last things you should ever be using the edge of a laptop for, like right before where the keyboard starts and the mouse pad begins. Or not the mouse pad, the cursor pad. I'll throw a picture up on screen, but this area of the laptop is usually where I would set my stuff down, or use it for a table or a cup or for whatever. On this day, that was a horrible mistake, because I set it down. I think I might have just been trying to move my leg or something, and it fell over completely. The entire piece just tipped over. The maybe less than maybe a swig of water that was inside of this thing just spilled all over the keyboard. The laptop shuts off, the video stops playing, and I'm starstruck. I'm flabbergasted. I'm over the moon. I'm past the asteroid belt. I'm quickly rushing over my laptop, trying to grab the closest t-shirt I possibly can to mop up all the water. I grab the t-shirt and I throw it on the laptop, and I'm like mopping it around it. It's not looking good. It's looking worse by the second. The little fan inside of the laptop just completely stopped. It stopped making noises. It made this slow, like, it got quieter and quieter before the computer fan just stopped working altogether. I started pressing the power button and nothing was happening. The screen's completely black. My video, I didn't even get to finish the story. It's just terrible. This is a horrible day. What was originally a pretty chill afternoon has just gone down the drain. I can't even comprehend it. And after, I think maybe an hour of trying to like jerry-rig this laptop to start working again after it sustained horrible water damage, I pick up the little wet pieces of bush off of the laptop and clean those off. I call an end to that sesh. It's over. And I just start trying to recoup my losses. I start thinking, what's the best way I could fix this? What's any way I can fix this? Is this laptop just dead? Is it dead in the water? Am I never going to be able to use it again? And the answer is yes, it is dead. I was never able to use it again. I never got it to turn on. From that day on, it never worked. It was just a useless hunk of plastic that just sat in my room. Oh man. I think I would later tell my mom like the story of like how I just dropped a cup of water on it or something, or like the laptop fell, which is also a horrible excuse because one, it proves I'm clumsy enough to let something that expensive just fall on the ground. Second, it's like, oh well, if a cup drops on it and you spilled a bunch of water, you know, that's sort of an accident. But also, you freaking idiot, you dropped a cup of water on a computer. That's unfortunate to say the least. That's completely sucks. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the time. I completely destroyed, I demolished this laptop. This poor, innocent, defenseless, inoffensive, like, laptop that it wasn't hurting anybody. It wasn't using it for any nefarious purposes. Just a little accident happened and completely ruined it forever. So, leave a like for a prayer for that. But, you know, maybe if you guys want to help me recoup that loss of a laptop I was never able to get back, well, well, you're in luck because I got a Patreon, and the Patreon's open, it works, and everything. If you guys want to help me maybe one day get that laptop back so I can learn from my mistakes and never bring anything water-related near it again, then please do check it out. Even for like a freaking $1 a month, you can contribute to helping me learn water safety and electronics. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a freaking awesome day. Stay safe, wash your hands, don't move too quickly in your bed. See you guys next time.
Far from reality, shining so bright like the night sky. I see the stars in your bright eyes. You haunted my thoughts on the drive home. A ghost with a smile that I know. You lay in a garden of roses, I lay in a garden of corpses. You light up the shadows and darkness. I'm nobody, I'm just a heartless.